Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sally and today I'm bringing to you guys the story time. So the story time that I'm going to tell you guys is pretty much the first time I got pulled over. And the story time, honestly, back when it happened, it was so fucking scary. Like, I was like fucking shitting bricks. But now that I look back at it, it's like super fucking funny because the fact that that happened to me, I never thought it would. Like I said, it's the first time I got pulled over. This happened about, like, I'd say a year ago, something like that. It was actually very funny because, you know, I didn't think I would get pulled over on a day like this, but I did. So it was, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Cinco de Mayo. Pretty much, you know, here in the United States, people celebrate it as what it's called Cinco de Drinko. Americans celebrate it just to have an excuse to drink and get fucking tipsy and shit. This happened when I was working at a Mexican food place. This was like 12 minutes away from my house. Obviously, there would be cops like out in the streets, you know, just making sure that, you know, there's no like car accidents or no drunk drivers and stuff like that. This happened when I was driving home from work. But I was at work pretty much after I got off school, because if I remember, it was like on a school day, on a weekday. So I was still a senior in high school by this time. Pretty much, I remember it was a super long day, it was super busy, and you know, I just wanted to go home. But right after I got off work, it was like 11, I got up at 11, and right after there, I was gonna go to In-N-Out, because In-N-Out was right by my house, and my boyfriend was there, and I was just gonna meet up with him and his friends, and then after that, I might just go home. So it happened where I was gonna go ahead and start driving home. So when I drive home, there's a bunch of, I go through these curvy roads that are, it's kind of like a cut through for going through the streets. So the streets, it takes you like 20 minutes to get to from my house to work. And the curvy roads, it's like 12 minutes, but it would take me 8 minutes because, you know, your girl be speeding and shit, whatever. So yeah, so it would take me like 8 minutes to get to work. So from 20 to 8 minutes, obviously I'll take the 8 minutes. From work going to my house, there's 2 stop signs. So there's a first stop sign which is right by a park and a dirt road, and then the second stop sign that is right by the school. And then there's a light that you turn right, and my house is right up the street. So it's kind of like a block away from the stop sign, the first stop sign. You know, I'm driving home, and you know, I'm going to In-N-Out first, and I'm going home. So, you know, I'm glad I'm off work because it was such a busy day. Before I get to the stop sign, I always scope out, like, you know, I look out far and I always scope out if there's like any cars coming, you know, if I see any lights or anything like that. I always scope out before I actually make the stop. But, you know, since it's always late and I'm always going through there late because I would always work late shifts, you know, I would never really stop, you know, because there was no cars. Like, I would literally do a California stop. So, you know, just roll by. So I got to the first stop sign, and every time I would go through there, I would always think like, oh shit, what if there's always like a cop, you know, like what if there's like a cop posted there and stuff. But every time I would go through, there was like always no cop, always nobody there. So, you know, it was just a thought. So specifically this day, you know, I'm going to In-N-Out, and it's like literally right down the street by my house. So I come to the first stop sign, and before I actually make the stop, I see there's no cars, and you know, I'm going through there, I'm about to get to the stop sign, and I literally just stop for like a second, and I look to my left, and it's dark, so I see like a car, and it has like dim light, so you can tell it's not turned off. It's just like a car with dim lights. I go ahead and just look at it, but you know, not to think that would be a cop or nothing like that. I just looked at it and I kept going. Like, I didn't even stop. I stopped for like a second, like I was telling you. Like, it was just so fast. So, you know, I literally just rolled through there like, oh, dumbass bitch. But I literally rolled through there, and you know, right when I rolled through there, I'm just like, fuck, dude. What if that was a cop? You know, like, what the fuck? Like, I just fucked up. Like, whatever was a cop, you know? And that's what I thought in my head, and that's what was going through my head within the time that I just rolled through the first stop sign. I was going to go to the second stop sign. So when I was about to go to the second stop sign, you know, I look back and there's no car coming after me or nothing. So I'm like, oh no, I'm just tripping, like there's no cop, whatever. So, you know, I'm just like, just in case your girl never knows. I actually did like a full 3 Mississippi stop at the second stop sign, and I was just like chilling, and you know, out of nowhere, like I see a car coming right behind me, and it got out of right where I saw the car stopped with the dim lights. So I'm like, oh shit, if it was a cop, he would already turn on his lights, you know, he would already pull me over. No cop, okay, we're good. So, you know, I'm just rolling, and then after like, you know, the 3 Mississippi is out, I keep going, and by this time the car is literally right behind me, and he's so close to me, and so I'm just like, yep, either he stops me, he turns on his lights, or like it's not a cop and he's just trying to fuck around. So I keep going, and right when I thought that, I shouldn't have fucking thought that shit. Right when I fucking started moving, I see the fucking lights turn on. Fucking red and blue lights just fucking going. And I see, at first I noticed them because my car just lit up. And I'm just like, oh fuck. I look out through my rearview mirror, and sure enough, there goes the lights. So I'm like, oh shit, you know, fuck me. So this was actually a really big deal for me, and it was like, I was very, very scared because this car wasn't mine. It was my mom's. So, you know, I was still in high school. I worked like a part-time job. So I didn't have enough money to like actually go out and buy myself a car and, you know, like get my own insurance and stuff. So and they would always like let me use their cars to go to work, to go to school, you know, whatever. So the only condition they had for me was like, you know, you just got your license. You better fucking watch that shit, watch my insurance, don't fucking get in no accidents, don't get no fucking tickets, don't get all this dumb shit. And well, it's not dumb, but you know, to me it was like, oh whatever, and I won't ever get a ticket, you know, I will never get an accident, but you never know. So, you know, that since my parents would always tell me that, like, that was literally the first thing that came into my head when I got pulled over. It was like, oh fuck, my parents are gonna kill me, they're gonna fucking like not let me use the car, I won't be able to go to fucking work no more, like it's a disaster, you know. So yeah, the cop pulls me over. Sure enough, it's a cop. He pulls me over, and I have to pull over to the side, and I'm just like praying to God. I'm like, Diosito Santo, por favor, no dejes que no, but like, yeah, like, you know, I was just like shitting bricks, and I was like, fuck me, dude, like my mom's gonna fucking kill me, my dad's not gonna let me have the car no more, like it's just a fucking disaster. So I pull over and I roll down my window. I have my hands on my steering wheel, and you know, I'm just like looking straight forward, and I'm just waiting for the cop to get out of the car. So there he goes. He, you know, he comes to my window, and he's like, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm good, how are you? And then he's like, I'm good. So you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, yeah. And you know, I was just like pretty much telling him like, yeah, I know I didn't do a full stop, you know, I'm always really careful. And I was just like apologizing and apologizing and apologizing. I'm like, you know, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to, you know, I'm always careful, I just came back from work. And he's like, oh, where do you work? And I'm like, well, I work at a Mexican food place, and you know, it's Cinco de Mayo, and it was like hectic, and I, you know, I'm just tired and I really want to go home. And also, and then he's like, oh, I like that place, like it's really good. And I'm like, yeah, well, today not really. So pretty much, you know, that pity excuse that you use to fucking, you know, get away with tickets. One time when my boyfriend got pulled over, the first time he had told me, and I'm like, you're fucking dumb. Like when I would get pulled over, I would fucking tell the cop like, oh, hey, I have fucking diarrhea, like I need to go home, sorry, but you gotta let me go. So can you guess what your girl did? Yeah, that's right, I didn't know what the fuck else to tell him. So, you know, that popped into my head, and I was just like, yeah, I ate something really bad at work today during my lunch, and my stomach hurts really bad, and I just really want to go home. And pretty much what I was telling this cop was like, hey, you know what, tengo chorro, I need to go home, I need to fucking take a shit, you know what I'm saying, like let me fucking go home. And so yeah, I was just telling this guy that I need to go home because I had diarrhea and shit. So but the funny part was like, he didn't fucking say nothing. Like, he did not say nothing towards that. Like, I felt like inside he was just like dying, like, oh my god, this bitch has fucking diarrhea, like she really need to go home, like fucking let her go, like, you know. But like, he didn't fucking say nothing, and I was just like, yeah, fuck, he didn't fucking buy my story. Like, people use it all the time, you know, so I'm fucked, you know. And he just didn't really say nothing to that. He just asked like, okay, can I see your license and registration please? So keep in mind, it's not my car, it's my mom's car. So I had given him my license, and I've only had it for a few months by this time. So, you know, and meanwhile I was talking to him, I was just like looking through all that shit, and I couldn't fucking find it. So I was like telling him, I was like, oh fuck, where is this shit at? Like, you know, he's gonna be pissed, like I don't fucking know where my registration is at. And so I give him my license, and pretty much I'm like telling him like, oh, I can't find the registration, just give me a second, I'm gonna try to look for it. And I was like taking all these papers out and shit, like it was such a fucking mess. And so you know, I'm like looking through there, and meanwhile he's like looking through my thing, and I'm just like, and I was like telling him, meanwhile I'm like, yeah, you know, I just want to go home. And so like he kind of, I guess he like bought it, you know, because after like he gave me my license and registration, or my license, he pretty much like looked at my address, and he realized that I literally did live like a block away. And he gave me back my license, and he's like, okay, here you go. And I'm like, and he pretty much was like, okay, next time be careful, because you know there's a lot of drunk people out here, there's a lot of pedestrians that walk around here, this and that, so you need to be careful, whatever. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, at this time I'm like, he's not giving me a fucking ticket. Oh my freaking, what the fuck? And I just couldn't believe it, because you know, I didn't think that he would actually like let me go, since you know, I would think that a lot of people use this fucking shitty ass excuse, and like all the cops are like, yeah bitch, no. And so, you know, he actually let me go. And so I was really fucking surprised, and you know, I was just like thanking the Lord. I was like, oh my god, like thank you so much. And I was like telling the cop like, oh my god, thank you, like, you know, I appreciate it. And like, you know, I was just so happy and so thrilled that I didn't fucking get a ticket. So after that, you know what, I was like, dude, I'm not fucking going to In-N-Out anymore. Like, I just want to go home. This night could have turned like totally the opposite. Like, oh, it was just a fucking mess, dude. Like, honestly, I was so fucking happy that I didn't fucking get a ticket, because not just because of the ticket, but my mama would have whipped my ass, and so would have my dad. So it was just gonna be a whole fucking disaster, you know. Like, I didn't want to fucking deal with it. So, you know, after that, I was just like going home, and I just turned and I went home. And then right when I got home, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to In-N-Out anymore. He's like, what happened? And I'm like, dude, I got fucking pulled over. And right after that, he was gonna come to my house, since I wasn't gonna go over there. And I told him the story, and he was just like laughing, like he, you know. And I was laughing to myself, because after that, like, I was realizing, and I'm like, dude, I fucking told this cop, I finessed this cop, and I fucking told him that I had diarrhea, tenía pinche chorro, and necesitaba cagar, and all this fucking bullshit. And, you know, I'm just like, he didn't fucking give me a ticket. And, you know, I didn't think he would buy it, but he did, and I didn't fucking get a ticket. So next time you guys get pulled over, fucking tell him you have chorro. No, I'm just kidding. He probably won't buy it, because honestly, I don't think cops usually would. I don't know, I guess you'd have to try it to find out. But yeah, like, you know, so yeah, that's my story about how I got pulled over. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am new, so I'm starting out with story times, because I personally enjoy watching story times personally. And, you know, I really have a bunch of story times that, you know, I think are super funny and are super interesting. And if you guys want to listen to more, subscribe to my channel. Thank you!